Hey everyone, my name is the Theme Park Evangelist. Well, I'm a little behind. Yesterday, trying to remember. That's right. I worked all afternoon at the hotel. However, though, all morning I was like trying to wake up, so I played some of my Xbox, and by the time I got done with that, I was like, well, let me try playing some League of Legends on my new computer because I got this gaming computer I hadn't been using yet. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's not that I don't want a YouTube. It's called I'm not bored in my apartment anymore like I used to be. So I've got a gaming computer, I've got an Xbox, and I've got YouTube to distract me. And that's a lot. That is a lot. And I got two of my favorite games on the Xbox. I got rid of everything else. And technically, I have a third favorite, and that's Skyrim. But anyway, so I noticed that there's Katie, by the way, if you didn't notice. So, I'm trying to get the game to load up, and I noticed that the internet was lagging really bad. So I ended up spending 30 minutes, no lie, trying to get the internet to work. So finally, after 30 minutes, I did a hard reset on the internet. I mean, so hardcore that I had to unplug both routers. I don't even know what the other router was, and then replug it in again. A minute later, and that was, all there was to it. So that surprisingly worked, and my YouTube video that I technically started uploading on Sunday night finally got uploaded to YouTube about Monday afternoon. So yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm actually at Katie's apartment right now. I don't think I've ever YouTubed here, but then again,
you have.
Okay, I have, but it's been a long time. But yeah, needless to say, by the time I got done with work, almost 8 o'clock at night last night, I was almost very late for karate. So I literally had to speed all the way back here in her car. That was the last time I drove her car. It was back to my parents' place, and then we swapped cars back out again. And I did manage to do karate last night, and we got out late, as usual. And Katie was very kind. She put $15 of gas in my car, and I drove home. So today, I spent most of the day playing Minecraft. I got my laundry done, and I even got to start DoorDash today. Of course, TJ is trying to convince me to do Uber Eats because he's looking at one DoorDash order and thinking that I'm making less than him. But TJ doesn't also know the whole story. He doesn't know that most of that time I was spending just fiddling around with this stupid app, trying to figure out how to work it. And then finally I did figure it out. I was like, oh, okay, this is how you work it. So I end up coming all the way back out here again to meet with Katie. She's going to make me dinner. We're going to spend some time together, maybe watch a movie. Well, our time has been really cut back short to, we did spend time together, but not the way we wanted to. Let's just say within 5 minutes of arriving at her apartment, she calls me again saying that she was just in an accident. At first, I wasn't sure she was being serious or not, and turns out she was being very serious. So as soon as it was safe to do so, I hightailed it out of there, got over to her, went straight to her, and I got in the car just to keep her company. I've been on the phone like crazy. I've been calling AAA. I've been calling my insurance company, getting a hold of my parents, just trying to figure out what to do for her. Now I don't really have to get my parents involved now because turns out it was just a wiring issue. But it doesn't mean, or that doesn't solve the problem with the front end of her car either, right underneath the headlight. So, yeah, 3 hours later, things are starting to calm down. Hopefully Katie's has stopped shaking by now. She was shaking for like 2.5 hours. Not even joking. Are you still shaking?
A little bit.
She said she's still shaking a little bit, as you heard.
But that's probably also because I'm still waiting for the food to kick in too. My blood sugar will probably drop too, and that
Sounds about right. So yeah, guys, that was our evening. At least on the bright side, I got a $2 tip for an order that I could not figure out for the life of me how to do, and I never communicated with the customer because I didn't know how to do it. But hey, now I know for tomorrow when I go back to do it again. And I gotta put some gas in my car now because spent I spent 20 miles of it doing an actual order for DoorDash, and then the other 20 miles I spent driving around like an idiot trying to figure out what to do because I didn't know how it worked. Apparently, when you arrive at a hotspot, you're just supposed to just sit there and wait until somebody places an order, and then you can choose to accept it or not. I didn't know that. I was under the impression you had to physically be in the spot before something like amazing happened. I was like, oh. So anyway, guys, as far as upcoming vlogs are concerned, tentatively as of right now, Sunday evening is supposed to be the next Country Pumpkins vlog, which, Lord willing, I will be able to pay for Katie and I since she just had that accident, and she's also been helping me out quite a bit financially. So we'll see what happens, but I don't want to go too crazy because my roommate is hounding me for $100 for utilities right now too, and I don't want to give him a reason to force it out of me if that makes any sense. Not that he would do that, but he might. Anyway, so that is currently the plan for Sunday. Country Pumpkins is literally just down the road for me, so I'm very excited about that. Really looking forward to going back there again this year. The following weekend, I believe we are going to Perfect North for their second year in a row of, what was it called again? Colorful, thank you. We were actually looking at the advertisement for that when we were working there earlier this year. And we were like, yeah, we should go. And I was like, yeah, of course, why not? So that's currently the plan is to go down to Perfect North or up to Perfect North and go check out Colorful. That'll be very interesting. And then, sadly enough, we only have one more vlog planned for you guys, and I'm finally going to get to do this, and that is the Tricks and Treats Festival, and that's going to be on Sunday, November 3rd. What? So here comes the ironic part. We're actually already going to be out there, so I am accompanying Katie to a bridal show that weekend. It's going to be on Sunday, November 3rd. I believe it's going to be in the morning into the early afternoon, and then we're going to go. And since our hotel, it's at the hotel we're ironically staying at twice that weekend and New Year's Eve, we decided we would just drive over to Kings Island afterwards and just go spend a few hours in the park. Like, why not, right? And I was joking with Katie about possibly going over to Halloween Haunt on Saturday, November 2nd. She goes, oh, no, you're not, and you're going to spend time with me. And I was like, ugh.
I mean, if you want to go, I'm not going to stop you. But...
You already said you were. You already...
I was joking with you, silly boy.
How can I tell if you have the time? I'm just saying. Oh, if you guys didn't notice, not that you did or anything. So, I am currently using my old Chromebook, Katie's Chromebook now. So, you guys will have to let me know which camera has the better quality. Is it my new Windows 11 Pro, whatever it is again? I think it is a Windows 11 Pro. Or is it my old Google Chromebook? Which, ironically, the Windows 11 Pro is a little newer of a computer, but... Also, it really depends on lighting, too. And I don't always use the best lighting when I do my vlogs. I'm sure a lot of you are like, yeah, I can attest to that. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get to the vlog. So you probably saw in the title, I actually got done before 10 minutes today. Did you notice that? So you probably did notice in the title that the vlog is going to be titled... what it was like celebrating Christmas in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for my very first time. Well, I actually wanted to, tell you guys the story behind it without making anybody look bad or anything. So, first of all, Katie was still living in Walton at the time. So, if I remember correctly, we were planning on meeting my brother at my parents' condo. So, I had planned on picking up Katie from her place. I don't even remember where I was coming from at the time. Where was I coming from? I'm trying to remember now. Because
I think you were coming to you came to me, picked me up.
That's right. That's right.
Went back to your parents' condo.
But I was at her place, and I picked her up, and then Jonathan, my brother, calls. I guess Jonathan was nervous that I was going to leave him behind, and I've reiterated this to him quite a few times. You don't ever have to rush on my account. I will wait for you. I know some people don't like to wait for you, but I will. I don't want to mention who those people are, but I promise it's not Katie or I. And Jonathan had gotten to a rush, and he took a curve too fast that I like to take fast most of the time. She's looking at me again, weirdly. Here, I'll let you guys see. Yeah. So, anyway, those under certain circumstances, well, I not take that curve fast, but 75% of the time. I swear, if Ayla was here right now, I'd be in so much trouble.
Yep.
Her former roommate. I like to take that turn fast, but anyway, so my brother accidentally lands on a grassy hill that was covered in mud at the time because it had just rained, or it had been rain.
And it was icy.
And it was icy out. So my plan was to come pull Jonathan and his car out of the mud, regardless of it being muddy or not. I was like, I don't care. I'll get in that mud for you. You're my brother, for crying out loud. I don't care about the car. I care about you. And I guess the police had shown up and forced him to call AAA. That was not a good thing. And AAA had to come and tow his car out of the mud, if I remember correctly. So we got Jonathan back to my parents' condo, and this was a really bad year. Like 2022 into early 2023 was a really bad time. My parents upstairs started experiencing plumbing issues. The whole upstairs flooded. We were in the process of drying it out and renovating it. But we still managed to get my brother into the bathtub and clean him off the best we could. It wasn't very easy because it was an obstacle course getting in there. And my brother had to change everything. Everything about him was muddy. It was bad. It was really bad. But we finally got on the road. We got in the car. But what really upset me was the fact that certain people were making fun of us for being late. And it's like, the important part is that we're all safe and we're all here and we're on our way. I mean, come on, really?
I think I had a flat tire.
Oh, yeah. So, we had to stop at Buc-ee's. And my brother was like, really? You had to stop at Buc-ee's? And it's like, yeah, of course. If you're going on a road trip, you got to go to Buc-ee's. I mean, come on, right?
Especially if you're going to pass right by one.
Especially if you're going to pass right by one. And we learned a very difficult fact. Don't ever drive over a what were those things? Drainage ditch out of Buc-ee's. Apparently people like to drop nails on those things.
Or screws.
And this was at the time when we had Katie's car, and it was the better car for transporting a huge amount of people, or more than two, and a lot of luggage at the time. So I was driving at the time, and I accidentally drove over. Was it you? I don't remember now. I think
had a stomach ache.
So it was me. That's right. We had just pulled over just a little bit prior because we had stopped at Wendy's and gave her a gluten attack. And we switched drivers. So it was definitely me then. So good job, David. And discovered that the flat tire light had came on. So of all places that we ended up going to after finally searching around for 30 minutes, where do you think we went?
Walmart.
I was letting them guess, but yes, that is correct. Sorry. It was Walmart.
Sorry.
It's all good. I'm laughing. That's a good sign. And we went to Berea Walmart, of all places. Amazing Walmart. They did a great job, and they barely charged us anything, like less than $50, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, whoa. It ended up being repairable. I was like, yes. So the important thing is that we got the car going. By this point, we're really behind now, and
driving up the mountain in the dark.
Yeah, we had drive up the mountain in the dark, and certain people were once again already way ahead of us, if not already there.
They were already there. They'd been there for like 2 hours, I think.
And they're making fun of us. Still. I was like, I know, mean, right? But, we did finally get there. It was a really difficult place to get into, and then for that matter, it was hard to park the car. In fact, it was so hard that I managed to back into a tree.
Yep, in my car.
In her car, don't forget that. I was like, whoa, what did I find? I was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. So, ended up finding out moments after I hugged my dad, upon getting there, he had bronchitis. Really? So we got there on December 23rd, and that's when I found out he had bronchitis. Now, I didn't notice anything right away. So Christmas Eve arrives, and Katie and I spent about half the day at the cabin. So my brother slept upstairs in the family room on a bed that ended up folding up on him one night. No wonder I heard a loud thump or thud from upstairs. I slept in a freezing basement.
Which you loved.
I did love until I got the flu. And then I gave it to her, and then I ended up getting an ear infection afterwards, so. And then Katie had to have her parents come and rescue her because she was so sick. That was sad. And she had just gone home not even a month or two prior.
I also never had the flu before, so.
That is true. And I also remember Katie originally had one room, my parents had the other. Then they ended up switching rooms so Katie could have the TV. Not the greatest TV in the world. Also very crappy internet.
No, your parents also didn't like that room because it was not cold enough for them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And you like the warmness. So that ended up working out. So Katie and I did take that opportunity later on in the day to go down into actual Pigeon Forge. And we tried going into a gator store. So there's a gator store off of Parkway Road. And it was not at all what I thought it was. It's literally just summer clothing, bathing suits, and all that fun stuff. And I was like, what? Like, well, that was a disappointment. But hey, on the bright side, we did do something on the way back that I'm looking forward to talking about. And we still do to this time. What?
How much longer?
Almost done, I promise. Because I promised her a scratcher because she had a really crappy day. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we end up trying out a shark store that ended up being just like it. I mean, both places were a complete ripoff. I was like, really? Really?
Until we went, you're talking about the goat store, right?
Yeah, I'll get there.
Okay.
I promise. Sorry. So anyway, no, you're fine. So anyway, we do go back because I promised my dad I'd be back at a certain time. So we never ended up going to church that night. So what we ended up doing instead was we had Christmas Eve hors d'oeuvres. And we ended up learning the hard way not to rely on the internet there to stream everything. So what are we going to do from this point forward if we stay in a cabin in the mountains of Tennessee, bring DVDs and all that fun stuff with us. Because apparently the internet out there sucks. Not like the internet that we had last November. That was a lot better. And I ended up going to bed later on the night, and I remember the next morning. It was Christmas morning. I felt awful. I mean, I drank about 10 bottles of water that day alone. It was bad. It was really bad. And I remember us even going to Publix at one point during that trip, but that's besides from the point. If you guys know me well enough, I'm from Central Florida. I'm obviously going to go to Publix if there's one nearby. Yep. Let me just tell you that straight up. And yes, there is one in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
David, honey, can you help me?
Do what?
My foot's stuck.
Oh. How can I help?
Got it.
Oh, okay. But I remember Katie was so excited because she was like really wanting me to meet all her side of the family. I'm just laying there like,
well, I didn't know you didn't feel good at that point.
No, she really didn't. She also wasn't familiar with me having the flu either. We had only been together, 6 months? We've been together 2.5 years at this point.
4 months.
6 months.
June, July, August, September, October. Okay, yeah, 6 months. Sorry, my fault.
It's her fault. She's gonna get me later. Oh, she did not just do that. You don't want to know what she did. It's obvious now that we've been together so long that you can tell. Oh! The chemistry between us is so strong now. If you guys have watched any of our earlier vlogs together, then you'll definitely have seen the strength in our relationship from when we first started dating to now. It's amazing how strong we've become together. So on the bright side, after I caught the flu, Katie and I did stop at a place called Goats on the Roof the day after Christmas, because that's when we started going back. And Katie had originally put in the GPS for Goats on the Roof, and it took us to a place on Parkway Road, which I thought was really weird. And it was very small, and Katie goes, that doesn't seem right. There's a much bigger place. So she looked it up again.
There's 2 locations.
So the one you guys have seen on YouTube already, with the actual Goats on the Roof, with the mountain coaster, the alpine coaster, that is the location we end up going to after that. From that point forward, that location has been shared on YouTube. Now, I don't remember. Did we go to Sawyer's that Christmas?
Yes. The day we went. The day we went back.
The day we went back. So I did feel well enough to still go to
Sawyer's. But we didn't
Sawyer's.
go to Ripley's. But we didn't go to Ripley's. We were going to go to Ripley's.
That's right. We were going to go to Ripley's, but I couldn't afford it. And also I was feeling bad enough.
Well enough to drive us back, though.
But at least I was feeling well enough to drive us back. That's a plus. And we did go to Three Bears. That's right. We
No, we took your parents to Three Bears.
That's right. We did take my parents to Three Bears. We fed bears for the very first time.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you can actually watch that on my Tennessee. Watch it on YouTube. It's part of my Tennessee vlogs. If you want to go back and look, it's called "Feeding Bears at Three Bears General Store." If you want to know, and I've shown that quite a few times on YouTube ever since July of 2022. I think I've vlogged in there with her like 3 or 4 times by now. It's almost like we live there or something. I don't know. But that was some of the stuff we got to do. And now, of course, with Buc-ee's being right there in Sevierville, whatever you want to call it, we have to stop in there now too. Sevierville. So there you have it. That was our December 2022 Pigeon Forge trip. I believe the next vlog I have to talk to you guys about. No, don't quote me on this because I have to go back and actually look. But I know it does take place in March of 2020, or it does take place in 2023. I do know for sure I do need to talk to you guys about taking Katie to Central Florida for her very first time in July of 2023. But I don't know if there's anything before that. I know for sure that is going to be an upcoming vlog. So just plan on that being the next vlog for this series. But I will go back and check my itinerary. I know I'm getting close to the end of the series. I know, hard to believe, which means I have to come up with another one before the end of this one. But hey, it's been real. It's been fun. But now I got to go scratch Katie's back. But in the meantime, always remember, you can do all things through Christ strengthens you. Get over here. You know I was saying that in fun, right? Oh! And always remember, you can do all things through Christ strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out. Hey, look, I made sure she got in the camera that time.